Jade Blair here, your worker online and in person. It has been a year. So I started OnlyFans in February of 2023. And although I had like a little bit of social media, I wasn't really taking it seriously. So this year has been crazy. My goal when I started OnlyFans was for it to pay my rent, which is 670 Australian dollars a week. We pay weekly here. So that if I could earn that much plus enough to cover taxes, I would be happy. That was my goal. It was never meant to be my main source of income. But over the year, I can happily say it is definitely taken over as my main source of income. I focus more on my OF now than I do my in-person work. Not that I care less about it, it's just more of my time ends up going there, so I'm seeing less clients, which is fine. It's a little sad, but I'm also enjoying the OF work, so but it has been a whirlwind. So I'm gonna let you know exactly how much I made, because for those who don't know, OF keeps track of it. You can literally see how much you've earned per day, per month, per year, whatever statistics you kind of want. They keep track of it all, and I have it all written down. And I just looked at these figures. Obviously I was keeping track of how much I was kind of earning, but more so on a weekly basis. I hadn't really looked back to see how much I had earned overall, and oh my god, you guys. I've been scared to make this video. That's why I didn't post it, for weeks, because don't hate me, okay? Just please don't hate me. I'm only posting this because people have asked me, people want to know. I've had a lot of people in my personal life even be like, tell us what's the reality. And I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this. All right, I'm just gonna tell you, okay? Are you ready? So in 2023, from February when I started to the end of December, after OF takes their 20% cut, right? So this is after they've already taken their money. So what I actually received in my bank account was, in US dollars, $109,126.26. Oh, fuck. I hit over 100K in my first year on OnlyFans with a very small following. Like when I started, I didn't have an Instagram. I only really had a Twitter, and it had 10 or 11,000. I can't even remember. I didn't have a Reddit. I barely used this YouTube. I had 4 videos, and I hit 100,000 US dollars. And to make it even better for me, I live in Australia, if you can't tell by the accent, and the US to Australian dollar exchange rate is pretty good. Obviously, it has changed throughout the year, and I take my money out practically weekly, so I'm honestly too lazy to sit and look at my bank accounts and have a look at exactly how much I received after the exchange rate. And then I think the bank also minuses a couple cents per transaction because it's international. So I kind of just Googled what it would be if it was today's date, and then took a little bit off to keep up with fluctuations. So I made about, in Australian dollars, after OnlyFans cut, so they've already taken their bit of money, 150,000 Australian dollars. It was actually closer to 166, it said, but I took off that 15 grand because the exchange rate's really high at the moment. So it's not a good reflection of the whole year. But Jesus Christ. I never expected this. Honestly, I would have been so happy just to have made my rent. I can't believe this has happened. And it all happened thanks to TikTok. and the people who watch me, of course, on TikTok. So about mid-year, so I started in February, and it was really May that everything went off. So I was on TikTok, I was posting really constantly, and I was using a lot of like the trending sounds and kind of audios and dances and memes and stuff like that. And to be honest, I wasn't getting anywhere until I had 2 videos go majorly viral. One was kind of me just talking to the camera saying, I'm a worker. And I came up with that because it's a little bit more vague and discreet, because TikTok hates sex workers, so I couldn't say I'm a sex worker because they flagged the video. So I said that, now it's like my catchphrase. And it was just me talking about morals and integrity and doing this work and getting a boyfriend. And then another one was a sound video. It was like, put a finger down if you've done this. And for whatever reason, mine took off. Both of these videos got like well over a couple million views, and everything exploded. After that, like every TikTok I was doing was having over 100, 200,000 views within a week of me posting it. It was insane. And this went on for like a month. It was crazy. I also at this time started doing TikTok lives, which I'd never done before. I'd never done any sort of live. I'd never even really watched live content. It was just never my thing. I prefer more like polished, edited videos. But I was reading a Reddit group and they said, try TikTok live. So I was literally sitting, just had finished dinner, just sitting at my dining table going, oh, I'll just try it. And I didn't think anyone would watch it at all. So my thing was like, oh, I'll just go on it, I'll just press all the buttons, no one's really gonna see it, it'll be fine. I went on and like 700 people were watching me. And I was sitting there like, what does this button do? And how does this work? And the people were like telling me how to do a TikTok live. And I had to like stop halfway to go get a phone charger because I wasn't expecting it to be that good. And then from then on, I tried almost every night to go on TikTok live for like 2 to 3 hours. And oh my God, it went crazy. I remember my most popular TikTok live, I had over 1,000 people watching, and I got at one time, so that's not the entirety, at one time I had 1,000 people watching, and over 1,000 people subscribed to my Onlyfans that night. I literally got off after the 3 hours, looked at my Onlyfans and saw the 1,000 subscriptions, and I cried. I cried. It has been absolutely wild. Unfortunately though, I have not been able to keep up with that. I have had viral videos since then. I've actually had a video recently that went to 5 million views and far surpassed any other video I've done. But for some reason, I just haven't gotten the OF subscribers, and I don't really know why. And I think this is the really frustrating thing about social media, is it's so controlled by algorithms that hitting the target audience you want is incredibly difficult. I think my recent video hit a lot of women who aren't the demographic that are gonna go subscribe to OF. So I didn't get very many like followers on OF because of it. The other thing is TikTok more and more is really, really trying to shut down accounts. Now, if you've never seen my TikTok, so okay, but it's a lot about sexual health, about safety, about consent, and about workers' rights. I talk a lot about being a worker, particularly an in-person one, and you know how we can make this work safer and how we can make sexual health in general safer. So I talk a lot about how to make the work safer in advocacy and educating people and respect. And even though I firmly believe I've never violated the community guidelines, unfortunately, a few of my videos have recently been removed. So I'm not used to this happening. Almost every day I have a notification on TikTok that your video has been removed for sexually suggestive content. And I'm like, oh God. And then you can appeal it, right? Every single time I've appealed it, always appeal, guys, always appeal. Every single time, they've always come back saying, you're correct, it didn't violate the community guidelines, the video has been restored. Except for in the last week. So Christmas Day, I actually woke up and the first thing I saw my TikTok was gone. It was banned. That was the first thing I saw. Because you check your phone first thing in the morning, you wake up. TikTok's always the first thing I check because it's so directly related to my income. And couldn't really log in. It just said, your TikTok has been banned for violating the community guidelines. If you think this is an error, appeal. So I appealed and I cried Christmas morning because my family's actually quite far away. I had to do like an hour-long drive, and petrol is super expensive. So I was actually like, shit, that's where literally all of my subscribers come. People don't find me anywhere else. That is where it comes from. I pretty much have stopped advertising anywhere else. It was just TikTok at this point, and I do some like Twitter posts and some Instagram posts, but they weren't really getting traction. But yeah, I sat there and I was like, can I actually afford the petrol now to go and visit them? Like, I have savings, but I was like, that's my income. What am I going to do now? Like, I have to find a new source of income. Thankfully, they restored it. Then a few weeks later, 2 of my videos, which had been up and had violated the guidelines, and I had appealed it, and they had said they were restored. All of a sudden, they violated the guidelines again, and there was no option to appeal. I have sent multiple emails to TikTok. I have asked for help. Every time I contact TikTok, they just say, if you disagree with us, you can appeal, but there's no option to appeal. And it's kind of like a 3 strikes and you're out policy, so I have 1 strike left. And I am very aware that my TikTok, which is now at over 150,000 followers and is my main source of subscribers for my OnlyFans, is any day now going to be permanently banned. And there is nothing I can do about it. And it's so frustrating, particularly when I am 1,000% certain that my content did not violate the community guidelines as they are currently written and expressed. I've honestly been through an emotional roller coaster these past 3 weeks, going through the high of how much I have achieved, but also how much I'm set to lose. That being said, I'm still so thankful and so grateful for this opportunity to have done this, because I'm going to be very honest, it's rare. I don't want to sit here and say everyone who starts an OF is going to make $100,000 US. Like, I think that's unrealistic. Well, it is unrealistic. I'm in the top 1% of all creators now. Like, top 1% only get to this. How many OnlyFans creators do you think they are? And that's not me trying to put myself on a pedestal and say, like, I'm special or something, or I work harder. It's not that. It's more, when I started this journey, I wanted to be open and honest about it, because I didn't want people to think that sex work was a get-rich-quick scheme, or that it was easy, or that it's not going to affect your future, because it will. It absolutely will. But then it took off. I don't know why. I don't know how to recreate it, and it's also at jeopardy. But that's why I've been really frightened of kind of talking about it, because I don't want people to be like, oh, I'll just do the same thing and I'll make millions. I can't guarantee that. You might, but you also might show off every bit of you and it will be on the internet forever and you made no money. So that is a very real reality. Also, I haven't kept all of that money. A lot has gone to taxes, about 50% once you put in my Medicare, my schooling, loans, all that. It all goes to taxes. And also, I have invested a lot. So I now have a new camera, I have new lights, I have a microphone on the way, I have new computers, I've been booking Airbnbs to shoot in, and I also have an employee now, well, a contractor who basically kind of schedules a lot of my social media posts. So I still take them and do all the chatting and stuff, but she like schedules them out just to save me a little bit of time. So I haven't actually kept a lot of it. I don't know how much I spent. I definitely have made a profit. I know that much, but I honestly am too scared to look, because it would be a lot, like lingerie, makeup, heels, like subscription services, like for schedulers and editing programs, and it adds up. Like, it adds up a lot. But anyway, that's me. I'm so excited, terrified that I'm going to lose it all, but I already have a strategy going forward. I'm going to create a few more TikTok accounts on different kind of topics. I would like to do an ASMR one. I also want to do a history-based one on sex work. So like what sex workers were like in the Victorian area and the medieval area and ancient Egypt. I think would be super interesting. I want to start a Twitch and I want to get to know you all here on YouTube, which also, another fun announcement, I'm monetized now. So give me a like and let me know what your New Year's resolutions are. Do you have any goals? Are you a creator? Are you someone who watches creators? Let me know. I'm super interested. And most of all, thank you all so much for your support over the year. I absolutely couldn't have done it without you, and I wish all of you the most amazing year to come. And